Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Mr. Tien Channel, where we explore the most dramatic weather developments every single day. And yes, if you're planning something for this weekend in the United Kingdom, be careful, because the rain is coming back. And it's not just a few drops. Yes, that's right. A series of new showers are getting ready to move in, especially during this weekend. This means you might get a few beautiful sunny intervals, golden sunlight shining across the fields, but just a few minutes later, oh no! Dark clouds roll in, the wind picks up, and heavy showers will pour down as if the sky is venting all its anger. If you're in Scotland, especially in the northern and northwestern regions, then my condolences. The early morning will bring lots of rain, gray skies, and almost no sign of the sun at all. Heavy showers, sometimes with strong gusts of wind, will make driving quite difficult. Water will be splashing all over the roads, visibility will be reduced, and those commuting early will need to keep a firm grip on the steering wheel. However, the good news is that these heavy showers will gradually drift off into the North Sea by midday, leaving behind brighter skies, with even a few sunny breaks in places. But don't celebrate too soon, because right after that, new showers will form again, spreading from west to east. Some of these showers could be very heavy, bringing hail and thunder, especially across southern England. And if you think the rain alone is troublesome, oh no. This afternoon and evening will also be very windy, particularly along southern coastal areas. It'll feel like autumn is slowly turning into winter. Temperatures today will generally be a bit cooler than yesterday. The south could reach around 15 degrees Celsius, while the north will stay near 10 to 11 degrees Celsius. With strong winds, it'll feel much colder than those numbers suggest. If you plan to go out for a walk or weekend shopping, make sure to wear an extra layer, especially in the evening. As night falls, the showers will temporarily ease in some areas. There will be moments of clearer skies where you might even see some stars. But sadly, that won't last long. From the west, another thick band of clouds is moving in, bringing heavier rain once again, possibly with hail, thunder, harikuzu, and strong gusts of wind, especially along the northwestern coasts. So tonight will be a mix of clearer intervals and sudden showers. The air will turn colder than last night, with temperatures in many places dropping to around 5 to 6 degrees Celsius. Sunday morning will start off feeling chilly, damp, and perhaps a bit foggy in some spots. Moving into Sunday, true to the crazy style of this autumn, we'll have another day full of ups and downs. It'll be sunny at times, how great, and rainy at others. You might just hang your laundry out to dry, only to rush and grab it back 5 minutes later when the rain hits. Early in the morning, East Anglia, Sussex, and Kent will see the first rounds of heavy showers. But don't worry, those will fade by lunchtime. Instead, western areas, like Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, will take the main hit of the rain during the second half of the day. There, clouds will thicken, showers will be frequent, and sometimes quite windy too. By late afternoon, more clouds from the Atlantic will push in, signaling another wet Sunday night ahead. In Northern Ireland, new bands of rain will arrive first, then spread eastward to other regions. Daytime highs will only reach around 12 to 13 degrees Celsius. And across Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Northern England, temperatures will hover around 10 to 11 degrees Celsius, making it feel cool and damp. And that's the overall picture for this very showery weekend. Not exactly the best weather for a barbecue outdoors, but if you love that cozy, chilly atmosphere, the sound of raindrops tapping on your window, and a warm cup of tea by your side, then this might just be the perfect weekend to stay in and relax. As for next week, here's some good news. Temperatures will become a little milder, but yes, still with plenty of scattered showers around. This autumn seems determined to remind us that when you think the rain is about to stop, it starts again. So remember to bring your umbrella, wear a waterproof jacket, and don't forget to follow the channel for the latest and most vivid weather updates every day. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video useful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share so more people know that this weekend the rain isn't taking a break yet. And today, I have to be honest, this is one of those videos you should not skip, because our main character, Hurricane Melissa, has officially become one of the most memorable storms of the 2025 hurricane season. Melissa, the Category 5 monster from the Atlantic. The big question is, what will Melissa do next after tearing through the Caribbean? And you know what? The answer has the entire meteorological world watching closely. When Melissa swept across Jamaica, it wasn't just any hurricane. It was a Category 5 beast, with sustained winds up to 185 miles per hour. That's about 295 kilometers per hour. In other words, that's the speed of disaster. From Jamaica to Cuba and even the smaller surrounding islands, everything shook. Trees were uprooted, roofs torn away, waves towering dozens of meters crashed onto the coasts. The entire Caribbean was swallowed by a roaring storm of wind and rain. When it made landfall in Cuba, Melissa was still a Category 3 hurricane, with winds near 200 kilometers per hour. And do you know what that means? Even while weakening, it was still powerful enough to rip off metal roofs, snap power poles, and plunge whole areas into darkness. Then, the massive storm continued its journey, heading toward Bermuda, and by the time it arrived, Melissa had weakened to a Category 1 hurricane, with winds around 90 miles per hour, 145 kilometers per hour. But even as a Category 1, it was still a wet, windy monster, bringing heavy rain and rough seas. Bermuda still suffered flooding in many places, and residents remained on high alert. However, the biggest question now is no longer where Melissa is, but rather, what will happen to the leftover low-pressure system once Melissa fades away? Take a look at the atmospheric dynamics map. You'll see the remnants of Melissa drifting across the Atlantic. On satellite imagery, the pink shades and arrows showing the jet stream bending, wrapping around the low, and yes, that's right, it's strengthening again. In the coming days, the jet stream will steer this system closer to Europe, heading toward the United Kingdom. Some earlier models even suggested that Melissa could swing south towards Spain or Africa, or even cut directly across the UK. But, as always, the weather loves to surprise us. The latest models now show that Melissa will veer northward toward Iceland. And what does that mean? It means the UK dodges the bullet. The storm won't come too close, but it will still drag in a chain of very wet and windy weather for the weekend. Now let's look at the rain and wind forecast models for the next few days. You can see the isobars tightening. That's the telltale sign of strong winds. From Sunday evening through Monday, the whole UK will face a spell of wet, windy, and unsettled weather. Nothing too extreme, but definitely uncomfortable. Along western coastal areas, there will be periods of strong gusts, some reaching up to 40 miles per hour, 64 kilometers per hour. And the rain, oh, trust me, there will be a lot of rain. Heavy showers, sometimes prolonged, especially over Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Some regions might even get yellow warnings for wind or rain. Melissa's forecast track and surprises. Here's the official forecast track from the NHC, the U.S. National Hurricane Center. You can see Melissa has passed Bermuda, and the projected path shows it will lose tropical storm status by early Saturday morning, U.S. time, then drift eastward into the westerly wind belt over the Atlantic. That fits perfectly with the scenario that Melissa won't directly strike the UK. But wait, there's something interesting. Take a look at the ECMWF model data. This European model shows several possible tracks for Melissa. A few extreme runs even send it curving toward Canada, but most agree it will head northeast, fading into the cold Atlantic. That means we can breathe a sigh of relief. Melissa will remain wet and windy, but not destructive for the UK. And this is where I have to emphasize something. Some newspapers, you know how they are, will publish headlines like, open quote, Hurricane Melissa heading straight for Britain. The Caribbean devastating storm to hit Europe next. Close quote. Sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But the truth is, by the time it touches Europe, Melissa will have weakened a lot, becoming just a post-tropical low. It will still bring rain and wind, but nothing like the nightmare Jamaica or Cuba faced. Looking at the wind intensity chart from the NHC, those dark red streaks mark where the strongest winds hit, across Jamaica and Cuba. 185 miles per hour. That's a historic storm. Entire areas destroyed, streets flooded, thousands evacuated. Now that it's weaker, we should still remember, this hurricane once was the terror of the Caribbean. Meanwhile, in the UK, even without a direct hit, Melissa's remnants will bring a burst of autumnal storminess. This weekend, we'll see scattered showers, sometimes sunshine, then rain again. That classic British autumn madness. Temperatures will range from 10 to 14 degrees Celsius, but with the wind, it'll feel much colder. By Sunday night, as the low approaches, winds will strengthen again, and some coastal regions could experience gusts reaching force 8 to 9 on the Beaufort scale. And here's a fun question many people have asked. Open quote. If Melissa weakens, then re-intensifies near the UK, will it get a new name? Close quote. The answer is no. If the same atmospheric system remains intact, it keeps the same name, meaning we'll still call it Melissa, even if it reaches Europe as a low-pressure system. That's different from cases like Hurricane Alberto, which dissipated completely before reforming as a new low, and that's when it would get a new name, like Amy. But this time, Melissa keeps her identity. She might change form, weaken, then strengthen, but she's still Melissa, the storm that wrote a fierce chapter in the Caribbean's history. And finally, take a look at the wind gust map for this weekend. It's going to be breezy, especially into Sunday night and early Monday morning. In some places, gusts will be strong enough that you'll need to hold onto your umbrella tightly, unless you want to watch it fly away. But thankfully, this is just typical autumn weather for the UK, nothing close to the devastation the Caribbean endured. And that's why, when we talk about Melissa, we should be both cautious and grateful that nature sometimes chooses to spare us. And that's the full dramatic journey of Hurricane Melissa 2025. From a Category 5 monster in the Caribbean to a fading low over the cold Atlantic, a story of chaos, power, and awe. If you found this weather report exciting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next stormy special from Mr. Tien. See you in the next video, and remember, when the skies start to roar, let Mr. Tien tell you why.